So when we're making a triangle, first thing we need to know is that triangles only really work, at least the standard triangles, formula triangles that we're looking at, only really work if we're doing multiplication or divide. So if, for example, A is equal to B times C, whatever it might be, A is equal to B times C, then we look at the right-hand side of the equation and we put that in the triangle first. So B times C, well, the times are always at the bottom. So we put B, C. And then once we've put the right-hand side of the equation in, we put the line there, we put the last one in wherever the gap is. So the gap is up here. So that's where it goes. Let's just do another one, just making the triangle. I'm just going to try to make the triangle at the moment. Let's imagine that, let's do a physics equation. So speed is equal to distance over time. So again, you look at the right-hand side of the equation, d over t. The triangles always have this line and the multiplication sign there. Well, they don't have to, but I mean, depends how you draw them, but it should be there. It doesn't, yeah. You put that there, and then you have speed goes in the final one. Now, the symbol for speed is irritatingly v, but and there is a reason for it, why it's v, but I won't go into that now. But yeah, let's do another one. Pressure, which is pressure, which is just P. So I'm just going to write P. Pressure is equal to, force over area. So, right, so not this one, because what's happened here is they've taken the two and they put them in the bottom, just like I did with this one up here. But we've got to think, how are the two on the right arranged, and then we decide where to put them. If it's something divided by something, that's something, it goes on the top of the thing. So this one's right, not this one. Okay, so now the next stage is, how do we use these triangles? We're going to use them to rearrange things. So if A is equal to B times C, then what's B equal to? What you do is, just to make this make it a bit easier, I'm going to make a little circle here. What you're supposed to do is cover things up with your thumb. Obviously, we're online, so you can't do that. So you take your thumb and you cover up the thing that you want to, you're trying to work out. And then the remaining things are what it's equal to. So, in other words, B is equal to A over C. Now, what would be C equal to? Well, cover up C, and C is equal to A over B. Okay, so there you go. That's how you would rearrange the formula. We know how to make the triangles, and now we know how to use the triangles to write different rearrangements. Now, you can actually use triangles with more than 3 variables. I kind of lied a little bit. I said you can only do it with, I don't know if I said you can do it with 3, but definitely you can only do it with multiplication and divide. So let's take one. Let's take the specific heat capacity one. So energy is equal to mass times the specific heat capacity multiplied by the change in temperature. Even more confusingly, so confusingly here, delta T looks like 4 things are being multiplied here, but basically delta T, triangle T, it's one thing. Now it used to be that and it stands for change in temperature. It used to be that it would be this symbol, theta, and in fact it's still. So basically theta, it just means temperature change, and so does delta T. The reason why they switched to delta T is because they introduced the idea of delta. Delta means change in, T means temperature, like I mentioned earlier on. So change in temperature. And I guess the reason why they used theta was because some people get confused, and it is quite confusing to have 4 characters up here. So, but because we're going to go through this with the standard way of doing it at the moment, MC delta T, and delta T is 1 variable. So So let's think about this. Let's try to put these into a triangle. Well, there's going to be 4 unknowns now, or not 4 unknowns, 4 things. So I'm going to start off by putting the line, and then I want to see if you can actually put it into the triangle. Think carefully. Okay, so yeah, so you can make a triangle with these as well. You'd still do the same thing. You look at the right-hand side of the equation and you put it in E, C, delta T, and then you put the, oh, no, this isn't quite right. I just realized. So the right-hand side had M. Okay, so we're going to say, oops. So, oh, okay, let's try that again. So there's the E. Okay, so it should have looked like that because that's all of the right hand side, the M times the C times the delta T. And then we've got the leftover E, and that goes in the top. So that's what it should look like. Okay, so now we're going to have a go at rearranging that formula to say M equals and C equals and delta T equals.
Should I press this thing there?
So yeah, you can do the same thing just with these. It's the same kind of idea. So M is equal to E, obviously. Yeah, so basically these are all the rearrangements of that formula. So that is how to make and use formula triangles in physics and also in maths or anything else.